I have actually proposed some amendments to the Education Act, and I want the country to ignore roadside pronouncement by anybody, whether he's a minister or a PS. The only institution that has the mandate to enact laws is the institution of Parliament. And I have already proposed some amendments to make boarding schools mandatory, not to ban it, but to make it mandatory, so that if you have been offered an opportunity to study, for example, at Mangu High School, and you come from Mangu, you decide to be a day scholar. But if you are coming from Mombasa and you've been given an opportunity to study in Mangu, then you definitely become a boarder, because it will be impossible for you to be commuting every day from your home to school. But banning boarding schools in the entire republic is punitive, is going to create inequality, is going to provide discrimination, is going to increase tribalism, because you are aware that big national schools like Mangu, Alliance, French School Kamsinga, they come from a particular ethnic community. So if you are going to make boarding, that boarding is no longer mandatory, it's been abolished, then it will mean that nobody can travel from Mombasa to come to Form 1 in Mangu, because these are small children. You don't want to have them going an extra mile or body of renting a house near these schools. So we must ensure that the boarding is optional, not just a blanket abolition of it.
All the facilities that have been in place, what will happen to those facilities? Number two, I've taught in schools in Narok County for over 20 years, and I've seen the benefits of boarding schools. Taking in mind that in Narok County, these children come from the pastoralist Maasai, which is the dominant tribe there. So you find that these children, these boarding schools are really, really beneficial to them, because when the parents move with the cattle, these children remain in the boarding schools. So what will happen to these children if the boarding schools are abolished? Again, there is a problem in Narok County. We have FGM and early marriages. If the boarding schools are abolished, there will be a danger that these children will go back to that and will not be helping these children. The smooth transition from one level to the other will be affected if the boarding schools are affected. I urge the ministry to think again about that and reconsider leaving the boarding schools the way they are until all the stakeholders have been brought on board and given their different views.